Although most of the Jedi were wiped out when the Emperor initiated Order 66 at the end of the Clone Wars, some members of the Jedi Order managed to survive the initial betrayal, partly thanks to the warning signal that Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi managed to send out after fighting their way into the Jedi Temple. Even still, most of the surviving Jedi were exterminated by Darth Vader and his Inquisitors in the years after the rise of the Empire, rendering the Jedi Order all but extinct. Nonetheless, there is a small chance that other Jedi besides Obi-Wan and Yoda survived the initial Jedi Purge. In fact, some of them may still be alive in the Sequel Trilogy era, meaning that Rey might not be the true last Jedi after all. Let's look at 5 Jedi who may have survived and could still be out there somewhere, starting with number 5, Shaak Ti. The interesting thing about Shaak Ti is that 2 completely different deaths were filmed for her for Revenge of the Sith, but neither was used. She also wasn't killed on screen when they had the chance to revisit Order 66 during the final season of the Clone Wars. As far as we know, Shaak Ti escaped the initial onslaught of Order 66 and may have even eluded Vader and the Inquisitors in the years that followed, though what may have happened to her after that is anyone's guess. Number 4, Quinlan Vos. This rebellious Jedi would have been a perfect fit for the rebellion during the Imperial years, but whether he was alive enough to do so at the time is an open question. Like Shaak Ti, we know that he was alive when Revenge of the Sith started, since we heard his name referenced in the movie, though what happened to him after that remains unclear. Unlike most other Jedi, however, Quinlan Vos had already taken a walk on the dark side. He was corrupted after the Jedi sent him undercover to try and win Count Dooku's confidence in order to get close enough to assassinate him, only to be captured, subverted, trained in the dark side by the Sith Lord, and eventually becoming his right-hand man. Though he was later rehabilitated, if Quinlan Vos survived Order 66 and didn't wind up joining the rebellion, there's a chance it's because he fell back to the dark side and chose to indulge his own needs and desires, rather than concern himself with the Jedi or the Sith. Number 3, Ezra Bridger. Though he never received formal training as a Padawan would have prior to the Jedi Purge, over the course of Star Wars Rebels, Ezra grew from a common thief on the streets of Lothal into a powerful and fearless Jedi. He received guidance from both Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi, not to mention a bit from Darth Maul as well, dared to face Darth Vader in lightsaber combat, and dealt the Empire a huge blow by removing Grand Admiral Thrawn from the equation. Unfortunately, nobody knows what happened to Ezra after he and Thrawn were swept away to an unknown destination by the Purgles, hyperspace-capable biological beings that resembled whales. Though Rebels ended with the beginning of a search for him, it's unknown if Ezra was ever found, whether his skill with the Force continued to blossom, if he still lived, or if he even survived the initial trip through hyperspace with the Purgles. Number 2, Mace Windu. Even though Mace Windu seemingly met his end when Anakin betrayed him after the confrontation with Palpatine, there's always been a bit of doubt as to whether Mace might have survived his encounter with the Sith. As far-fetched as it might seem, we do have evidence that what seemingly killed Mace is survivable in the Star Wars universe. In the last moments we saw him, Windu suffered the loss of his hand, a sustained blast of Sith lightning, and a fall from a great height. These are all things that we saw Luke Skywalker survive, and while they didn't happen in one shot like with Mace, the fact is that Mace was a seasoned, powerful Jedi warrior, one of the best that the Jedi ever produced, and far beyond where Luke was at the time of the rebellion, and if anyone could have survived that, Mace could have. This of course raises the question of why Mace then wouldn't have tried to fight back against the Empire if he survived, but since we never saw a body, we can't be 100% sure that Mace Windu perished at that time. And number 1, Ahsoka Tano. While she doesn't technically count as a Jedi anymore after leaving the Order during the Clone Wars, the fact that she was such an enduring force for the light throughout both the Clone Wars and the Imperial years puts Ahsoka Tano at the top of this list. Once the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka fought in many of the most important battles against the Separatist Alliance, and after choosing to leave the Jedi, became a key figure in the rebellion, even engaging her former master, now Darth Vader, in a lightsaber duel. Ahsoka disappeared after that battle, but resurfaced after the Battle of Endor and joined Sabine Wren in search of the missing Ezra Bridger. The story of that search has yet to be told, and while rumors swirl that Ahsoka will appear in the second season of The Mandalorian, that show itself is set 25 years before The Force Awakens, so there's still plenty of room to further explore the stories of Ahsoka, Ezra, and any other Jedi lucky enough to have escaped the Emperor's reach. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this video, and if there are any other Jedi I didn't cover who you think may still be out there somewhere. Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and if you'd like to help support the Star Wars Wavelength channel, please click subscribe to be notified whenever new videos are posted. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Always.